The shame, what the feeling of not being enough actually is. Opener. This is not a video about self-love. It is not a 5-step plan, and it is not about confidence or fixing yourself. It is about something quieter and harder than all of that. A feeling most people carry without ever naming it. Not because they chose to keep it hidden, because they were never sure they were allowed to say it out loud. You might recognize something in what follows. My approach is simple to help you understand yourself and the people around you a little better. There is something most people who feel this way never quite name. They give. They show up. They hold it together. And underneath all of that, quietly, there is a hum. It has a name. Most people spend a long time avoiding it. If that sounds familiar, this is for you. Part 1. Always there for others. At some point, without any announcement and without a decision you can point to, you became the person people came to. It happened through accumulation, through hundreds of small moments where someone needed something and you were there. Not because you had planned it that way, but because being there was simply what you did. And over time, that became who you were. You showed up reliably, generously, often before anyone had to ask, in ways that cost you something real, and you did not keep score because that is not who you are. What you gave was genuine. The time was real. The attention was real. And the care behind all of it was real. This is not a story about someone performing generosity without meaning it. But there was always a quiet asymmetry underneath that nobody named. For other people, you were available without condition. For yourself, something different happened. Something that was harder to explain and easier to ignore. The same readiness that made you so present for everyone else was simply not there when it came to your own needs, your own weight, your own tired places. It was not a failure and it was not a choice. It was a pattern that had assembled itself so gradually that by the time it was visible, it had already been there for years. From the outside, all of this looked like strength. You were someone who had it together. Someone who did not need much. Someone who was fine. And in many ways that description was accurate. There is real capability in a person who carries a great deal without making a sound about it. And the world runs on people like that. What the outside could not see and what you may not have fully seen yourself was what it cost. Not in any dramatic way, not in a way you could easily trace, just the slow and steady cost gives and almost never the one who receives. Part 2. But never for yourself. There were things you did not say, and they were not small things. Things you felt deeply but did not show. Not from distrust, not because the people around you were not safe, but from something closer to a quiet and well-practiced doubt about whether the full picture of you would actually be welcome. So you showed the version that worked, the version that was managing, that was fine, that did not need anything right now. It was not dishonesty. It was a kind of editing that had become so automatic you stopped noticing you were doing it. What you kept back was not nothing. It was the part that was tired, the part that wanted something, the part that had been quietly running on less than it needed for longer than was reasonable. When someone offered help, there was usually a moment, a brief pause before the automatic answer arrived. The thing you actually needed sitting right there for a second, visible, and then the familiar response closing over it. I am fine. Do not worry about me. Not because it was true, but because taking up that space felt like it required justification you did not yet have. Like there was a threshold you had not crossed. Like the full version of yourself was something that still needed to be earned. Underneath the reliability and the generosity and the I am fine, there was a feeling that was always somewhere in the background. Not dramatic, not a crisis, nothing you could easily point to or explain. Just a quiet hum that said not quite enough, not quite there yet, not quite deserving of the full thing. That feeling had a name. Most people never said it. Part 3. Because you are ashamed. There is a difference between feeling that you did something wrong and feeling that you are wrong. And that difference matters more than most people realize. The first one has an edge to it, a specific moment, a behavior that can in principle be addressed, something that points outward at an action rather than inward at a person. The second one has no edge, no specific moment, nothing to address, because nothing specific was done. It is not about what you did. It is about what you are. And that is precisely what makes it so hard to name and so hard to argue with. Shame does not need a reason. And that is what most people do not understand about it. It is not triggered only by failure. It can arrive when you are sick, when you are sad, when you need something, when you are overwhelmed, when you simply cannot keep up the pace for a while. None of those are failures. They are states that happen to people, not decisions, not evidence of anything, and yet the shame arrives anyway, quiet and without announcement, sitting there like it belongs, like it has every right to be there. Shame has a consistent output, and it is always the same. Make yourself smaller. Step back. Do not show this. Do not let anyone see how much is actually going on in there. So you do. And the smaller you make yourself, the more the feeling confirms itself. Because if you were enough, surely you would not be hiding. That is the particular cruelty of it. The shame produces the very evidence it then uses against you. And the loop runs so quietly that most people never notice it is running at all. Part 4. And that stands in the way. Shame does not announce itself or arrive with any drama. It moves quietly through a life, keeping certain things at a slight and consistent distance, not dramatically, and not all at once, but reliably, just enough. It keeps connection at arm's length, not all connection, just the kind that requires being fully seen. It keeps certain possibilities just out of reach, not all of them, just the ones that feel like they require more than you currently are. The result is a life that functions, that looks fine from the outside, and is always, quietly, a little smaller on the inside than it could be. At some point, the feeling became a belief, because feelings, when they last long enough, begin to feel like facts. You started collecting evidence without meaning to, without realizing that was what you were doing. The moment something did not work out, the time you were not chosen, the room where you felt slightly out of place, these became the record, the case file, the proof of something that had actually never been proven at all. What you did not collect was the other evidence, not because it was not there, but because you were not looking for it. Not enough is not a fact. It is a feeling. Feelings are real, but they are not always accurate. And the feeling of not being enough did not arrive because you examined the evidence and reached a conclusion. It formed in conditions that were not your doing over time without your permission. And it has been running quietly in the background ever since, shaping what you reach for and what you do not, what you allow yourself, and what you quietly decide is not for you. Part 5. You do not have to carry this alone. Shame has a particular relationship with silence. In silence, it expands, fills whatever space is available, becomes the whole room, becomes the whole story. When it gets named, something changes, not everything and not immediately, but something real. The feeling does not disappear because it was said out loud, but it shrinks back to its actual size, which turns out to be considerably smaller than the room it had been filling. The thing you hide most carefully is the thing almost everyone else is hiding too. Not some people, most people. The person who seems most certain, the one whose life looks like the version you are trying to reach. They are carrying it in some form, in a different shape, with different contents, but the same basic weight. The shame was never proof that you were broken. It was proof that you are human and that you have been carrying something alone that was never designed to be carried that way. I do not know what the feeling looks like for you, or where it sits, or what it has quietly kept you from over the years. What I know is this: the feeling is not evidence. It is not a verdict, and it is not a measurement of what you are worth. It is something that formed in conditions that were not your fault over time, without your permission. And the fact that you have been carrying it quietly for so long is not proof of weakness. It is proof of how much you were already managing. You did not have to carry it alone. That is just where you were. Closing. I have felt it. The quiet hum that says not quite. Not quite enough. Not quite there. Not quite deserving of the full thing. Not as a crisis and not in any dramatic way. Just as a background presence that was always somewhere beneath the ordinary days, beneath the showing up and the being reliable and the I am fine. What I have found is that naming it does something. Not everything, but something. The feeling does not vanish when you say it out loud, but it stops being the only thing in the room. If that feeling is familiar, leave a word below. A dot. Anything. Not for me, but as a sign for the person arriving after you. The one who thinks they are the only one carrying this.
I became the one you called when the night was getting heavy. I would stay until the morning, even when I had somewhere to be. And I never thought about it, giving always came so easily. But whenever someone asked me what I needed, I would say I'm fine. There was always half a second before the answer left my mouth. where I almost told the truth and somehow swallowed it back down. I would carry you home, but never ask you to carry me. I would give you all the room and disappear when I had to breathe. I don't know when I learned that needing something meant too much, but somewhere along the way I started living like I wasn't enough. So I learned to hide the tiredness in the places no one ever sees. Kept the harder conversations for the hours when it was only me. And the strange thing about hiding is eventually you start to believe if someone saw the whole of you, they might find a reason they should leave. So I became a little smaller every time I needed more, until I couldn't tell the difference between what I felt and what I was. I would carry you home, but never ask you to carry me. I would give you all the room and disappear when I had to breathe. I don't know when I learned that needing something meant too much, but somewhere along the way I started living like I wasn't enough. Maybe all those years of silence made the feeling sound like truth. Maybe every door I never opened only gave it something more to use. Maybe saying it out loud doesn't make it disappear, but it sounds a little different when somebody else can hear. I would carry you home, but never ask you to carry me. I gave everyone the room I never thought belonged to me. Now I know the quiet voice was never measuring what I was. It was something I had carried for so long, I called it enough. So if you ask me how I'm doing, maybe this time I'll let the silence wait and tell you